Hi everyone, I'm Adi. Welcome back to the Chess Climb. This is the Puzzle Survivor series, and in my first episode, I really had a very incredible run. I was able to get to 53 by perfectly explaining my thought process before making each move. This is quite different from the Puzzle Rush where I just have to move intuitively, but I think this takes a lot of time. So this is going to be the second episode now, and let's see if I'm able to get to 53 just like I did in the last one. Or no, quit. No, I'm not doing the 5 minute one. No, new rush. It has to be puzzle survivor. Yeah. So I'll be taking my time. So there's no much to explain. After rook e8 will be checkmate. So check queen d1, and after queen d1, I mean the bishop can take on c1, but that should still be mate inevitable because so queen e1 is checkmate. Yes. So this, if I take on f2, there's nothing defended because my bishop on b6 is doing a very good job. So that should be checkmate. So here already, knight c8 wins the rook, forking the rook and the king. So I'll go for that. And after here, check. There's king d2, and after rook f2, there's king g4, and after rook g1 is mate, so I'll go for that. So here, yeah, so if the king steps forward, it's just rook g1 checkmate. So I think this should be a simple checkmate. After queen takes g2, check. There's no king h1, obviously there's no king f1, so that is checkmate. And here it will end up meaning having to sack the queen f2, king h1 is forced, queen f1, sacking the queen. There's rook takes f done, and after that I have rook takes f1 checkmate. So let me go for that, check, and checkmate. So here already white to move. Something that comes directly to my mind is queen h6 check, king king g8 only move, and after queen h8 that will be checkmate because the king has no escaping squares. So this comes to my mind, queen d7 immediately checkmate because the pawn on e6 is doing a very fantastic job here already. So I can check to prolong the mate. White can, block with the bishop. I take with the rook, and king g7 is forced. And after rook f6, king, so there's no king h6 because of the monster bishop on d7. So rook b8 is the move, and that should be mate. So here already, I would end up sacking the queen because after king h8, which is forced, I sack the queen on f8, rook takes f8, then I'll be having rook f8 mate. So let me go for that, check, and this should be checkmate. And this immediately queen f8 comes to mind because there's no king g7, so I'll go for that. Now I think it will start getting like a little bit tricky now. e5 immediately comes to mind, winning a piece. If I go on e5, there's no check, so I'll play e5. I can do something to open up the king. Obviously h7 is weak, so after knight f6 check. If the king goes to h8, queen takes h7 is mate, so gf6, then I have queen h7 regardless, so I'll go for that, and that should be checkmate. So it will start getting tricky very soon. So if I do this, rook takes, that I don't like. Yeah, I think I can win the rook after bishop c2. Maybe they're going to try I mean, they can't try rook d1 because I just wanted the rook. Yeah, so I'll just take the rook. So check. Rook takes his force, and after queen f2 check. No, queen f3 check. If king move, then I take the rook. Yeah. So let me calculate this again. So bishop f2, rook takes, check. King here, I take with check. So they are not in time. So I think that should be the move. Oh, yeah, I'll take the queen because I'll be having this. I should have calculated that to the end. That's why this Puzzle Survivor episode is important. And a big thumbs up to everyone who watched the first episode. I think that's probably my first video that I had an average watch hour of 44 minutes. So shout out to everyone who stick around and watch. Not a lot of views, but it does matter to have tons of watch hours. So thank you guys. Big thumbs up. So here, black to move. So I'll take king takes on c5. So let me calm down. Rook takes a3, king takes a3, king c6, king b7, no, king b4, king d5, king c4, king e5, king d4, no, king e6, what am I saying? King d4, then I have king f5. Yeah, so that means, oh, so they decided to step back. Okay, wow. So what are they doing? So I'll take, they'll play this, I'll take, they'll play this, then I'll step up with the king. Yeah. So I think this guarantees me of winning the queen because gf3 comes to mind, check. So white has to give up the queen. So I'll go for that immediately. I don't think I have to like deeply calculate that. So I mean, I want to go queen h5, but after g6, I don't sort of see the move after g6. Yeah. I can't see the move after g6. I can't. Yeah, so let me just, I mean, I don't want to take, taking the rook seems slow, so rook h5 check, because obviously I'm down a bishop, so it has to be me doing something like immediately to just, yeah, I'll be having queen takes c5. What am I doing? So queen h5, g6, queen takes c5 is mate. No, queen takes c5, there's queen e7, then I pick up the rook with check. Yeah, and after queen blocks, then so let me calculate it for anyone watching. So queen h5, g6, queen takes e5, queen e7 is forced, queen takes h8, queen f8 is forced because there's no way the king is going. Then after queen takes f8 is mate. So let me go for that. Check, takes here, and then queen e7 is the only move. So immediately I think b5 works. After a b5, a b5, g5, I push, then I keep pushing. So let me see this to the end. So b5, a b5, a b5, g5, b4, g6, then I'm able to get a blockade with g7. Then if king g7, f4, I'm in time to push. Yeah, I mean, even this I should have considered other options for black, because in real game that would have been what I was like, what I would do. So check, because I don't want to call me a check, the king can move now. So but if I check with the pawn, check, king comes here. No, I don't like that. So check, king here. Then I will be having this check winning the bishop. Yeah, so either which one wins. So after queen d5 check, king d7, then I have queen b5 check, winning this bishop. So I think that's the best move. Check, then I win the bishop. So taking with the pawn would have been a very huge mistake. So I can sack the rook. Like, it's not really sacking the rook, because after rook f1 check, king takes f1 is forced. Then I have queen g2 check, and after king e1, then I have queen g1 checkmate, because the king is not in time to step up to any of this square. And even the master pawn on d3 is doing a very fantastic job. So let me do that once again. So rook f1, king takes f1 is forced, and after bishop queen g2 check, king e1, and queen g1 is checkmate. So let me go for that. Check, check. Oh, really? That's a mistake. Oh, I can't go queen. The bishop is not defending the queen. Bishop is... Just calm down. Okay, that's bad. Okay. So queen e1 check, king g2, and after rook e2 check, queen takes e2, or white queen takes e2, queen e2 check, king king g3, king g3. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to go for any of this check because the queen can just easily block, so that's why I'm not considering anything like queen f5 or even, yeah. So my only reasonable checks, excuse me, is queen e1 check or any of this queen check, but I'm down a bishop, so it has to be something that actually wins, because after any of this check, the queen can just block and there's no way for me to take the bishop. But if I go to queen e1 check, then I'll be up a queen for... No. Am I going to be up a queen? So let me do this again. So queen e1 check, king g2 is forced, rook e2. If the king comes here, so let's say king h3. So queen e1 check, king g2, rook e2. If the king move, so let's say king h3. Do I just take the rook? I think I'll just take one of the rook, and if they take back, I take back as well. Yeah, so let me do that one more time. I'm sorry because I just have bad visualization skills. So queen e1, king g2, rook e2 check. If king h3, I sack the queen. If they take back the rook, they take back the rook. What do I do then? Oh. Yeah, I think if king h3, then I'll just play queen f2. Queen f2 doesn't do anything. I don't even have mate threat. Yeah. I'm unable to visualize the end of that sequence. So queen e1, king g2, rook e2 check. If the king move, if I take the queen, it's just an equal pawn. So I'll just take the rook, and they take my rook, right? No. So queen e1 check, king g2, rook e2 check, king h3. Yeah, because they can't come to f2, that will be mate. So king h3, then I have rook e3, then after king g1, then I'll be having queen g3 check. Oh yeah, so I'm able to visualize this better now. So after king g3, king f1 is forced. So this is what I'm calculating. So let me do it again for anyone watching. So queen e1 check, king g2, rook e2. If they decided not to take king h3, rook e3 check. If king h2, there's queen h4 checkmate. So they have to play king f1. No. So after rook e3, so they play. So let's say they play king g2 again. So king g2 is forced. So after king g2, I have rook g3 checkmate. So that's if they don't take the rook. So if they take the rook, that will be queen takes, then I'll take. So that should be winning. Yeah, I mean, I just spent my whole time calculating all that. Why they wouldn't even do it. So immediately queen takes c3 comes to mind, check, because if rook takes, I have rook d1 check, and because of this monster rook on b8, the rook has to go back to c1, and after rook takes c1, that will be mate. So check, yeah, so that is first. If check, what if they do queen b2, I'll just take, and that will be mate regardless. So I'll just sack the queen and check, and that is checkmate. So if I take this, what happens? If I take knight takes, okay, so knight takes d4, knight takes d4. Let's say knight takes d4, queen takes d4, forcing me to trade. Oh. So knight takes d4, knight takes d4. What's my gain? So knight takes d4, knight takes d4. I have rook d8. Right? Winning one of these stuffs. So if knight takes d4, queen takes d4. Queen takes d4, queen takes d4, knight d4. Then I have rook d8 still. And after bishop, yeah, bishop b7 winning one of the pawns. Then I'll just take back. So I'll take, if queen takes, then I just trade down. Then I have rook d8. And why is rook d8 better than rook f8? What's the difference between rook fd8 or rook ad8? What's the difference? So my material count is 3 piece. Yeah, I have 5 points. They have 5 points as well. So, but here I think I win a piece. What's the difference? So knight takes d4, knight takes d4. If rook a d8. Oh. Yeah, is it because if rook a d8, is it because they have no. So knight takes d4 wins, yeah. So this and like, what's the actual difference? If rook a d8, bishop takes b7. No, if rook fd8, that's the difference. If rook fd8, they will have this, and by the time I move my rook, they will be able to save their knight. So that's the difference. So takes, and yeah, so that was the difference. Oh wow, that's really nice. So the bishop on h6 is threatening to take my rook. So they have 2 rooks and a lot. So I have the queen for 2 knight and 2 bishop. That is a lot of pawns. Like, that's a lot. So the immediate thing that comes to mind is queen c8 check, because the knight on, because the knight on e7 is pinned. So that immediately comes to mind. So after queen c8 check, the knight can't take, the king can't go. It's not in time to go here, so that should be checkmate. So if I trade, if black take now, queen takes, am I supposed to take? So takes, 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 king d3, king e4, no, king e5, king e3. Yeah, so I'm in time to be, so out. So queen takes d5, king d5, king d3, king e3, and after king e3, any moves, then I'll take, and I'll be able to promote my pawn. Yeah, so this they want me to take. Of course I am going to take, for sure. So white to move, I am down. I have a rook and a bishop for black's queen, but I'm down 2 pawns as well, so I have to give mate, I guess. So bishop e5 checks comes to mind. After bishop e5, there's no the king can't step into the g6 is locked, so maybe king f. So king f, if king h8 leads to immediate mate, so king f8 has to be tried, and after king f8, there's rook d8 check, there's king e7. So let me draw an arrow for anyone who is willing to follow along. No, do I have to do that? So I don't want to play king e5 because I will allow the king to escape. So the best thing to do is to make sure the king comes to the square. So that's the best way to force. So the only way to do that is queen h6 check, and the king can step out. So the only square available is to go here or here. And after king g8, there's just rook d8 checkmate. And after king h8, so it leads to the same motive. So check. And I once lost a game because of this. Oh, nice. So check, king takes, and that's still mate, regardless of whatever they do. So white to move in this position. The immediate checks that comes to mind is rook takes e8 check, because the king can't step here, he can't go here, the king can't go here, he can go here, he can't go here. So this is a toasted king. So after rook takes e8 will be mate. So black to move. I think one of the hardest puzzles I found for myself is when there's just a lot of pieces that can capture one another. So if I take here, bishop take, so let's say knight takes c6, bishop takes e2, right? Oh, yeah, so I found the trick. So knight takes e6, if bishop takes, if bishop takes, I just takes, rook takes, and I mean, I just bring back my knight, and I've just, and I've just up a bishop. So they would want to try the sneaky move, bishop takes e2. So after knight takes e5, bishop takes e2. Then I have knight takes e2, because if the bishop decides to take now, I'll take back with my bishop, and after the queen trade, I'll be up a knight. Yeah. No, I'll be up a dark square bishop. So take. So they decided to take, which is awesome. Oh, nice. So if I take now, knight take. Oh, okay. So I'm just gonna. I didn't even. So what I decided was I was going to take, and yeah. I mean, I thought I was going to be up a piece now. Oh, so I'm going to take on g4, and if knight takes, I take back, and if queen takes, then my bishop takes back on d1. Yeah. So that's the trick. That was a very wrong calculation by me. I didn't calculate it properly. Apologies for that. So black to move. So I have 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 pawns. My pawn structure is damaged. I have 2 bishop and 1 knight. They have 2 knights and 1 bishop. One of my rooks is not in the game, so it would be nice if I can win one of the pieces. So these are superfluous knights when they defend each other. So if I take, knight takes, I can't take back because the queen takes. So if I take, knight take, that is just not it. So if I take, knight take, and after knight f5, what are they cooking? So after knight f5, what are they cooking? So let me cut. So knight takes c4. If queen takes c4 now, I just take on g5. So after knight takes c4 is forced. And after that, then I have I have bishop f5. So bishop f5. I mean, g3 can be tried. Oh, bishop f5, even rook e1, and if bishop takes, queen takes. Yeah, so that doesn't. If bishop takes, queen takes, then I take the g5 pawn. Yeah, so that's. And after f3, I have takes, then I take. Yeah, so I think that's the move. Yeah. So bishop f5 wins. So this as well, then I win to g5 bishop. Yeah. So I'm glad I considered rook move for them. So if I take queen takes g6, so I'm going to go through the checks first. Queen takes g6, gh6. No, gh6 is not possible because the pawn is pinned. So after queen takes h6, king g7 is forced. Then I have queen h7, king f8, and king h8 queen h8 is checkmate because the king can't step here, and the king is not in time to get here. So that is checkmate. So here, black to move. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pawns. I have the 2 rooks. I have a bishop and 2 knights. So they have a bishop more than I do and a damaged pawn structure. So what to do? It appears to me that there's likelihood of the queen already trapped, but I don't know if that works. So how do I prove it? So if knight takes, queen takes, they want to do that, I can't do. So but if I go knight c2 check, so I have to go through check first. Apologies for that once again. So knight c2 check, the king can't come to any of the open file because of my queen. So king f1 is forced. Then after queen d1 check, knight e2 is forced. Then I can take on e2 with my queen because the knight on c2 is doing a beautiful job guarding my queen. So let me draw the arrow once again. So knight c2 check, king f1 is forced, and after queen d1, knight e1 is forced, and then I have queen takes c1 checkmate. Mate. So here already going through the checks, queen d4 check, if the queen blocks. So if queen blocks, queen takes f2, king takes f2, and bishop takes b7. So I'll be having two bishop and a rook. They'll be having a rook and a knight for, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll be having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they'll be having I'll be having an extra bishop for their extra pawn. So that should be winning. So what happens if I take on b? So what happens if I take on? So what happens if I take on b7 first? So is there any repercussion to taking on b7 first? Oh, so queen d4 check. After queen f2, I don't have to take. Then I'll have queen g4 check. But then they can go here. Oh, so the reason why I can't take on b7 for anyone wondering is there's knight e5 check, fucking the king and the queen. So that's why I can't take for. So the best way for me is to save my king with this check. And if the king move, I can just take and take the knight. And then after this now, I'm absolutely fine. No, am I? So queen d4 check, if queen f2, I'll take, king takes, bishop b7, knight f6 check, knight f6 check, maybe king h6, and if knight takes c here, yeah, then I'll just take on h4 anyway. So queen d4 has to be played. Yeah, so they went for queen f2. So I'm thinking if I had something better with queen g4, they just save their bishop, so it's better to just trade. So queen g4, there's bishop g2. So I'd rather just take and win the bishop. So why to move in this position? Do I have checkmate? So what comes to mind? So I have rook g8 is the first check that I have by process of elimination. King takes g8. Okay, so I have checkmate. So after rook g8, king takes g8 is first, then I have queen d8 check, and after king g7, I have queen f8 checkmate because the king can't step here because of the check. He can't go here because of the beautiful knight. This is more of like an Arabian mate just with the queen, and he can't come here. So you sack the rook, so checkmate. So in this position, white to move. I have my beautiful rooks are on the open file, so I have to coordinate them to give a checkmate, I guess. So by process of elimination, which checks do I have? I have queen d5 check. I have queen b3 check. I'm not going to consider queen b3 because I just decided to trade and I'm down a knight. So after queen d4 check, when the king move, I will take the rook on f8, and after bishop takes, or let's do like this. So queen d4 check. If they block with the rook, then what do I do? So queen d4 check. If they don't move the king, because I'll be winning at least their rook. Rook f2. Queen d8 check. I mean, they can't play bishop here because I just win the rook. Yeah, and after, yeah. So I don't think they would want to try that. So let me just come down and calculate this. So queen d4 check, rook f2, queen d8 check, rook takes d8, rook d8. Rook d8, rook d8, rook f2. Nah. Don't get it. So queen d4, rook f2. Oh, rook f2, then I just win the rook. What am I saying? Like what am I saying? Rook f2, then I just win the rook. Oh, that's terrible. So queen d5 check. I mean, rook f2, I just win the rook on a8. What am I saying? So they tried f6, which seems to be more. If they tried king h8, which seems to be more challenging. So queen d5, rook king h8. Then I'll take on d8. And after queen takes d5, I'll be having bishop takes g7 check. If knight takes, then I take back with the rook. So I'll be having two rooks. I'll be having two rooks, 5 pawns for So queen d5, king h8. If bishop takes f8, queen takes d5. Oh, then I'm having a rook for their extra knights. What am I saying? So queen d5 wins. And I didn't calculate this. Did not calculate this. And after this, because if I block now, there's bishop here. If I take, knight takes, yeah, so my only option is to block now. Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, I didn't calculate that. So white to move, I am down 2 rooks. So this has to lead to checkmate or I'm done. So by process of elimination, the checks that comes to mind is queen here comes to mind, because if the king step here, I have this check, and if the king steps here, so if queen a4, I'll allow the king to escape. Here check, queen takes check. So if queen a4 check, king b. If the king steps here, I'll pick up this check. And when the king steps here, I don't have this check. So that's the reason why this is bad. So let me show you why I think queen a4 wouldn't work. So after queen a4 check, There's king b8. Queen takes c8 check. There's king c7. And I don't have king e7 because of this beautiful bishop on b5. So the only check I would have is to go to queen e5 check. And I have to constantly be mindful because of queen takes f2. So queen e5 check. It's tricky. Queen e5. It's hard. So queen c7 check looks to me to be interesting because I'm boxing in the king. So queen c7. So queen c7 is actually the best move because the only move now is to step on the a8. Then I will have bishop f3 check. And after rook e4, there's bishop takes e4 mate. So that's my only best option because I have to be mindful of this because this rook won't be hanging in any of those variations because of the queen on g1. So queen c7 wins, I guess, but after this, that should be checkmate. Yeah, I almost lost that. I was this close. So black to move and win in this position. So if I sack the queen on f2, they just take back and that's just a waste of time. Right? And if I decide to do anything like I think I do have bishop takes f3, bishop takes f3, then I have this sneaky move. Oh, so I have to eliminate this knight. So bishop takes f3, if bishop f3, queen h2 is mate. So after bishop f3, bishop takes f3, they will try hg4, right? After hg4, now after hg4, I'll be having bishop takes g2 check, king takes, then queen g3 will be checkmate. No, queen g3, then they have king h1, and after queen h3 will be mate. Yeah, so that is my absolutely best move. Yeah, so this is what I calculated, and after king here, I'll be checkmating them. Oh, yeah, that's a very nice variation to calculate. So in no time, this should lead to checkmate, but how? So rook g6 comes to mind as check, and after king h4, I don't see a way out. Queen h4, rook takes g7, rook c2 check, king f3, king f3. Yeah, king f3 challenging rook h4 checkmate. Yeah. So rook g6 check. I mean, that's my only obvious check. So that's what I need to go for. Because I'm down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm down 1 pawn. So after rook g6, king h4, rook takes g7, rook c2 check, king f3, rook c3. No, rook c3 doesn't work. Rook c3, f6, rook takes d3 check. And after king e2, yeah, I think I'm in time to promote. Yeah. Whoa. There's no way I can get to 53. Like, there's zero chance for me to get to 53. I think my calculation skills have just been bad in this video. Ay, ay, ay. So after rook takes e2, queen takes c2, queen d4 check. sorry for the back, queen d4 check. The king is trapped because he can't step to e2, which seems to be the only available square, because after this the king can't take because of the queen. So I'll give this check, and this should be mate. Ay. So queen a4 comes to mind, check, but then they have queen d7. So after queen d7, queen takes d7, then there's knight takes d7, then they blunder that. So king takes d7, and after bishop b8, they take. Oh, I'm just not in the zone. It's a shame. So let me calm down. So queen takes a4 check. I mean, if b5, I just win the bishop. So after queen a4, queen d7 has to be tried to save the bishop. Queen takes d7, knight takes d7, loses the bishop. So if king takes d7, bishop takes b8, bishop here, bishop here, bishop takes a7, rook takes a7, then bishop has to go back for them to save it. Yeah, and if the bishop goes back, I'll take on b6. I mean, is that the cleanest way? So after king takes d7, can I play? But yeah, I can't take on this because the knight just takes. I think, yeah, taking on b8 is the best. So bishop b8, bishop f8. If bishop f7, they have. Yeah, I think they have this. I think they have rook g2. What am I doing? The best thing for me to do is just take on a6, knight takes a6, and I have queen a4 check, winning the knight. What am I doing? That's the most obvious thing I should have done earlier. Oh. So black to move. King and pawn endgame. I don't like it at all. And I don't have my lifeline. So here, black to move. I have 2 extra pawns for their knight. So if h3, king f2, h2. So if h3, king f2, e5, no, e3 check. If the king goes, I play e2. Yeah, so they can't actually stop these 2 pawns. So h3, deflecting the king, f2, e3. Because after king f2, if I play h2, there's king g2, and if I now then play e3, there will just be knight d4 now, stopping e2. So e3 check has to be played first. So h3. Oh, it's a check. I just look like a dump. I just look dumb. So king f6. If they take, I take, and after this, I think I'm in time to play this, and if this, I'm in time to play any of this move. Yeah, so my extra pawns are going to win. Yeah. So after king f6, and I don't want to play king f5 because of check, allowing the knight to escape. Yeah, so if king f6, if they play knight d4, I'll play h3, and if king f2, then I'll play a3. Yeah. So I'll play king f6. Yeah. So I mean, knight f4 is obvious. So h3. This is tricky knight. So h3, knight d5 check, king e5, king e5, king f2. They have to stop. King f2. No. So if they move back to knight, then I'll be having h2. So h3 has to be played. King e5. Yeah. So they want to give a check now. So there's no time for check. Yeah. Queen. Yeah. That was hard. That was really, really hard. Like that was really hard. And I was extremely careful because I don't have any opportunity to just miss anything. So I have so by process of elimination, which checks do I have? If check here, queen takes, rook takes, and after c5, I wouldn't be able to take back. Because I'm down a bishop, it wouldn't be sensible to go for any queen trade. But it appears to me that this queen is trapped. And how can I prove it? So if I take now, so what they are banking on is that if I take on the f2, rook takes f2, king takes f2, they have queen c2 check. Yeah, that's what they have queen c2 check. Right, queen c2, and after king e1. Yeah, king e1. So let me do it again. So rook takes f2, rook takes f2. Oh, if rook takes f2, king e3, no, I mean, my queen is guarding that pawn. So rook takes f2, rook takes f2, king takes f2, queen c2 check, and after king e1, if they take on h2, then I have queen d8 check. Yeah. Okay. No, I mean, I just win now. Check, yeah, so I'm in time. So I'll take on f2. King e1 has to be played. Yeah. Yes. That was a nice calculation by me. Yeah, king e1 has to be played. So here, I don't have any. So the main idea is to play something like knight d2 check. If queen takes d2, there's just queen d2 checkmate. So after knight d2 check, king g2, queen h2, queen h2 is still mate, so knight e2 has to be played. So knight e2 check. Yeah, I saw that they could escape via this, and I don't know why I didn't stop and calculate it. Okay. So knight g1 check. No, I don't like that. Oh, knight g1, if rook takes g1, then I have queen f2 checkmate. Oh yeah. So that's nice. So knight g1, they can't come here, they can't go here. Yeah. So knight g1 wins. Yeah. That was a very nice deflection tactics. So bishop c2 comes to mind. Bishop c2 checks. Bishop e4 only move. No, bishop e4 is not the only move. So bishop c2, they could try king g4, and after f3. So bishop c2, king g4, f3, bishop takes f3. Nah. Bishop takes f3 doesn't work. So bishop c2 check. Literally the only move for them is to play king g4. And if I try h3 now, king takes h3. So bishop c2 check, king g4, bishop e4. Oh. So what if I try f3 first? But f3, they have ideas of okay, so I have to try h3 first. Then if they play e5, which I'm sure they will want to try. So the reason why h3 is a very good move is that h3, whatever move they make, I'll be playing bishop g4 next. But if they decide to be sneaky and play g5, then I'll have bishop c2, right? So after h3, if they try e5, then I'll have bishop g4. So h3 is a very good move, yes. Yeah. That was a very, very nice trick. That was really nice. That was a very nice trick. Okay. So do I have a deflection tactics? So after bishop h2 check, there's no king f2. So king h1 is first. And after king h1, I have the quiet bishop g3 moves. And I have queen takes now. Queen takes. Rook f1. Yeah, I think I'm winning. So bishop h2, king h1, bishop g3, because I don't want to move my bishop to f4. Then they can force the trade. So bishop g3, And after queen takes g3, queen takes g3. Yeah. Then I will have knight h3 as now. Yeah, something like that, sure. Yeah, I think so. So bishop h2 check. Bishop g3. Now they have this. Wow. I didn't even consider this. They're not. So if knight takes, pawn takes, queen takes, king here, yeah, so I have to take with the knight. So if I take with the queen takes, that's no move, so I'll take with the knight. Yeah, so that was the move. So black to move in this position and win. I have two bishops and a knight and a rook. They have it, so, and a queen. So the material count is equal. They have two knights for my two bishops as well. So, but what is white's threat? So what is white threatening? The queen on g4 looks hanging to me. Oh, so white is actually threatening checkmate on a5. After queen a5, let's say a5, queen a5, knight, king b7 only move. King b7. King b7, then they have I don't know. Yeah, maybe knight a1. Yeah, no, maybe rook a1. Yeah, I mean, but rook a1, queen d4 for me. Queen d4, king f1. Rook h1 check. King e2. It's dicey. So if bishop takes, let me go through my checks. So if bishop takes c5, bc5, queen takes c5 check. There's no king f1. Literally because of rook h1 check. So I'm just trying the checks based on process of elimination, that's all. What if I sack the rook on h1 check, king takes h1? I don't have any immediate check after that. Right? I don't have any. And I can't go queen d4 check. It would have been nice if I have another rook on this file. So bishop c5 check, bc5, queen c5 check, king f1 only move. Yeah, because after bishop c5, if king f1, then I'll just take the knight, and after bishop queen a5, then I'll be having queen here check. Yeah, the bishop blocking. So after bishop c5, bc5, queen takes c5 check, king e1, only move, king e1. King e1, rook h1 check, king e2, king e2. Then I'll be having queen e3, queen takes e3 checkmate. So let me go for that. Yeah. Why can I not just calculate the queen move? Like, why? Literally. Like why? Yeah, because the reason why I should have calculated this is because the king stepping to f1 is literally checkmate. Can I just deflect the king away now? Yeah. Just running the queen. Yeah. Should have just calculated that. Oof. So rook takes f7, queen takes f7, g6. If the queen move, let's say queen e7, and after king h7, so literally the queen cannot move that much. So let me just count down. I think I saw the trick. So rook f7, king takes f7, g6. If queen f8, queen h7 is mate. So I shouldn't have cancelled that. So let me do that again. Here g6. If queen f7, queen h6 is mate. So if queen let's say queen d7, queen d7 check again. King queen e7, king f8, queen h8 check. Oh, there's not even king e7. Yeah, so that's why I have to do that. So you sack the rook, g6, and if check the block, then I just take the queen. Yeah. So that's going to be checkmate. That's why they have to just move the king, or checkmate, or just win the queen at some point. So black to move in this position and win. So after knight, no, knight g4 doesn't seem interesting. So a lot of pieces is looking at one another. I don't like it when that happens. So bishop takes, so let me calculate the first capture because I don't have a check, so obviously. So bishop takes c4, dc4. Nice. So bishop takes c4, dc4. Then I'll be having knight e4, which there's a certainty that I will be losing the queen, or when the queen moves, I'll be having an idea of winning another pawn. So if bishop take on c, so if bishop takes on c4, bishop takes on c4, b5, bishop takes b5, queen a3, rook a8. I can take say bishop, yeah. Oh, I can't find anything. So let me calm down. So if I push d5 now, d5, so what's the move here? How about knight a5? Threatening to go knight b3, knight a5, knight takes a5, ba5, bishop takes a5. So knight a5, knight takes a5, ba5, bishop takes a7, bishop takes b3. Yeah, bishop takes b3, and after bishop back to b3. Yeah, so that is equal material point. Yeah. So let me calculate it again. Just so knight a5, knight takes a5, b5. So b5, bishop takes b5, bishop takes a7, bishop takes a7, bishop takes b3. What's my move in this position? So what's my move in this position? So if I play b5, bishop takes a5. So b5 literally wins. So b5 literally wins. So b5, bishop takes a5, knight takes a5. Now they have to move the knight or lose the bishop. So b5 wins. Yeah. So I'm going to take. They will take fe4. So let me calm down. If I take now, what is their plan? So bishop takes b6, rook takes, queen takes, and after queen, bishop takes. If I yeah, that's a lot to calculate. So let me calculate it move by move. So bishop takes b3. What are they threatening? So bishop takes b3. So bishop takes b6. Rook takes a8. Queen takes a8. Bishop takes b6. Right, and after no, so there won't be. So after that, so bishop takes b6. Rook takes a8. Queen takes a8. Bishop e6. And after f e6, there's bishop b6. So that's equal pawns. So that's why I can't do that. If I take on b3 now, take on b3, rook takes a7, rook takes, yeah, just take on b3. Yeah. I could not get to 53. I could not. So where did I go wrong? So let me go over and check where I actually went wrong. So this puzzle has 42% win rate. Oh, I have an intermezzo. Whoa. Oh, I have an intermezzo. Oh. But if I take, I could have just calmed down and calculated it again. Here. Then if I take 9 takes a8 is. I mean, bishop b4 was what I saw. After c4 now, yeah, c4, I saw c4, I just. And what is this? Bishop a7, knight takes a7, rook fb1, queen b8, queen a2, rook c8, 94. Oh, so bad. Yeah. So that was my, oh, that was so painful. I couldn't visualize that point. Yeah, and drawing arrows helped me. I don't know why I just stopped drawing the arrows at that point. Now after queen takes, then I'll just calmly take. I just have to watch out for intermezzo, then I'll be at 48, 5 points away. If you've enjoyed this video, I'm sure this won't be long as the other one because I didn't get to 53. So it's journey to reach break 53 now. That's my highest point. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.